Hey Upward coaches, I can't believe it's week number 5 already. And I'm excited about what I'm seeing on the court, both from the kids as they progress. Aren't you amazed at how far they come from the beginning of the season to the middle of the season? But I'm also really impressed by how you are teaching, how you are coaching, and how you're working together. I had the opportunity this past week to referee a game where there was some confusion on the straps. When isn't there confusion on the straps? But the two coaches from that game got together and said, I think we've got this one mismatched, and instead of getting competitive and saying, I can't believe you would do this, there was a real camaraderie, a real working together, and it got fixed really fast. And the kids benefit from that, and the parents benefit from that, and the message that we are a positive environment for kids goes out because of small things like that. So thanks for your continued efforts. This week, you're going to go into your huddle and we switch the concept that we're talking about. We go from courage to respect. And the danger in going into a topic like respect is that we're going to start talking about it in the way that, you should eat your vegetables because you should type of attitude. You should respect people, you should obey. And many people teach respect like that. But I think we have an opportunity to broaden what this is all about, is that we get to respect others and we respect God because we want to follow Him more closely. And that's the way He's built things to work, is that if we respect each other and we respect Him, the world operates on a completely different place. And so we have an opportunity to either be really rigid about this or to teach that this is a great opportunity to follow God a little bit more closely. And the tagline is we show respect to God because He's in charge of everything. And I think we often miss the coolness of the fact that we are not in charge. We have a place, but we're not in charge. We don't have to keep control over everything, because when we look at how big God is, and this is one of the things I think you could draw your kids to, because on the second page of your curriculum, it talks about quickly how God created rhinoceroses and mountains and things like that, and we get a very earth view of God. But really, God is so much bigger than that, because if you pull out from the earth and you see everything that He created with His voice, you pull out a little bit farther and you see a solar system that works perfectly together inside a galaxy if you pull out farther, that is the Milky Way. But we understand that the Milky Way is actually a small galaxy, and so if we pull out a little bit farther to the point where the largest thing that we can imagine, the sun, is no longer visible, there are clusters of galaxies and the Milky Way is no longer visible, and outside of that cluster of galaxies we can't even comprehend because we can't pull out that far. God's bigger, and He's in control of all those different things. And yet He's not so far away that He doesn't know who we are. Psalm 139 tells us that He knows the thoughts that we have. He knows when we leave and when we come back. He knows what we're going to say. And so He is both huge and unbelievable and amazing and in charge of something huge, but He also is very close. And so being able to say to our kids, you know what? We respect God because He's in charge, and He's so big that He can be that. And yet He's close enough that He knows everything that's going on in our lives. And the illustration you're going to use is gravity, and how God knows the answers. He has created gravity, and even though we don't completely understand it, it's something God's created to make His world work. And I think we got to be careful in this instance also, not to say, well, God's the answer man, He's a know-it-all. No, God created us. He knows everything about us. He knows how things are supposed to work. And so when we want to know what He thinks, then we go to His Word. And if we respect His Word and we follow it, then things are the way He created them to be. And so we have an opportunity this week to not go like this and say, you need to have respect and you need to obey, because they hear that in a lot of places. But we get to say, hey, we have an opportunity to connect with a God who knows things because He created them. And we can follow Him more closely by showing respect to Him and showing respect to those around us. I hope you have a great week. I look forward to seeing you on Saturday.